Hey guys, Sam here from Landscape Plus. We are on site at RHS Malvern. We're going to be installing an in-light system for the amazing Cape Mason. So the starting point for any in-light system is their hub. This one here is a hub 50, and that's 50 VA, meaning the amount of lights that you can get onto this hub itself. It's your transformer. We've also got a hub 100 with twice the load on there, and a smart hub 150 for anyone that wants app control of their lighting. The hub 50 and 100 come with a simple light sensor and a timer on the front of them, so as the sun goes down, your lights will come on for a predetermined amount of time. So when installing the in-light hubs, you have to make sure you're installing them 500mm off of ground level. That's in case you get any splashing going up into where the cable entry goes in. To keep them weatherproof, we pop one of these really simple protectors over, and as you can see, they come down slightly lower than the bottom of the hub, so that any water that gets onto there drips straight off the bottom of it. Once installed, we have got two cable entry points there. Now with the hub 50 and the hub 100, they are both switched on together. So that isn't two separate zones. If you want separate zones, you have multiple hubs. So we've got our hub mounted on here. Simply pop two screws in. Make sure you leave a slight gap because it needs to be able to get the hub protector down the back. You need about a 3 to 4mm gap. And then that one will slide down so it's protected from any weather, ready for our cables to go in at a later date. So in-light offer two different cables. You have the 14-2, which we are using here, and then the 10-2. Now that is the gauge of cable, which means you get different distances on your low voltage side of your transformer. Your 14-2, you can do up to 40 meters of cable, and your 10-2, you can get up to 80 meters of cable. But remember, if you're using a smart hub, you've got three separate zones, so you can go 80 meters in three different directions. So we've stripped the ends of the cable back. We can pop that into the bottom of these lever connectors on the hub and click them down. That is our first connection done. Now on the bottom of this hub 50, we've got the two entry points for the cable. Remember, they are switched together, but it's really handy because we can take the two separate sides of this garden, wire them separately so we haven't got a loop cable everywhere. We'll then get this one powered up before we connect slides. Now that's slightly unusual, but with the in-light system, it's only 12 volt. It's absolutely fine to do so, and it's really handy to know then that your connections are all good as soon as you put your lights in. So we've got our hub on and powered. Our first cable run is through, and we're going to connect our first fit in. So we've got a couple of the mini scopes here lighting up this sculpture. We've got our easy lock connector, so we're going to take this grey piece out of our easy lock connector, put it over the top of the cable. So that's purpose is to keep the cable nice and flat and make sure that it makes contact with the teeth within there. Also within the connector, you have a layer of gel underneath. So as the cable pushes down into it, the gel comes up, coating the pins and making sure that everything's waterproofed. And that one pushes straight into there. Give it a good push to make sure that it's pierced through. Light has just come on. Twist that one down, and like I said earlier, having the system powered up before you connect your fittings means every time you connect a fitting, you know your connection is good. So this is the end of one of our cable routes here. We just split the two cords of cable apart there, and we're going to use these little tiny caps, quite simply push them over the end to waterproof it, and then we'll be able to just leave that on the surface. So we have got a couple of the AIM ceilings that we're going to pop onto this structure here. They are also great for wall lighting as well. They've got a little honeycomb in there to limit glare, and super slim fitting, so really, really sleek. The Easy Lock connector comes in with every in-light product, but what we're going to do here is use an extension cord so that it's nice and slim, hidden in this routed out part here, and then we'll put the Easy Lock connector at the base where it can be hidden out of the way. So we need to take a spur off of our main cable here. We've got this secondary cable going up into the base of this planter, and we're going to take it up this post onto a AIM ceiling right up top there. To do this, we're going to use a CC2 connector. Now the CC2s for me are something anyone installing in-light should have in their van. They're great for doing just this, so taking a spur of cable, but they're also perfect for repairing any cables that might get damaged on site. The one thing you need to remember is that after going through a CC2, the maximum load you can put after it is 50 VA. So just check the number of fittings you've got on there. It's essentially two of the Easy Lock connectors side by side, two of the little grey covers, pop that over your cable into there. Second one goes over there. Make sure you leave room there to put your cable caps over the end, into there. We'll screw those onto the top and we'll be good to go. So one of the really cool things about the AIM range is that the lights are actually stackable. You can take that little cap out of there, and then you can pop a secondary light head in the top there. That makes a connection and you can stack them up. That applies for the AIM spike lights, pole lights, whichever you'd like to describe them as, and the AIM ceiling as well. So we can then have 2 light heads with them facing in different directions. So that is our IN-LITE install done here at RHS Malvern. We've got our hub tucked out of the way nicely, simply plugged into an outdoor socket, so anyone can install that one. We've got 2 cable runs coming off of that. Remember, they're switched together off of the Hub 50 and the Hub 100. We've got a couple of the really cool AIM ceilings up on the structure here, scopes throughout the planting, and sways at the front as a focal point.